On this episode of Street Rat Garage, it's part 2 of flipping cars to pay off my auto loan. So if you have not seen it before, this is my 2021 Jeep Wrangler. And well, I still owe money on it. I was only able to pay about half of this when I bought it, and I had to take out an auto loan for the rest. So we owe about $15,000 left on this Jeep. And I don't like car payments, so we are seeing what we can do to pay this off as soon as possible. Now, in the last episode, I started with absolutely nothing. We found some scrap metal laying around Street Rat Garage worldwide headquarters. We took all that, plus some batteries, plus some aluminum radiators, and we managed to get ourselves $500, $519 actually. Now, with that money, I was able to get online, govdeals.com, and I was able to find this 2007 Dodge Caravan for $395. I can usually find these things at a pretty good deal. For some reason at the auctions, not a lot of people are interested in these vans, but they sell very, very good on Craigslist, not Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Probably sell good on Craigslist too, but who uses that anymore? Now, the only problem with these vans, they have a tendency to rust a little bit here in the Midwest. So that's one of the reasons a lot of people shy away from these vans online. They don't come out and look at them and inspect them. All they see is all this rust in the pictures, and it doesn't look good. But if you look up underneath the frame, it's the floor pans, the rest of the frame, and all that's in good shape. It's fine. It's just these outer body panels that are a little crusty. No big deal. So it has this rust here. I mean, not that big a deal. Door's locked. A little bit on the door. A lot on the rocker panels. Usually they're a lot more rusty back here. This one was dented in and it started to rust, or it probably wouldn't be doing that right now. It has on the same side, not quite as bad if you don't poke at it like that. So yeah, they definitely rust away. But from about the doorish up, still good shape. A little bit of rust right there from rock chips, what have you. They don't wash these a whole lot. This belonged to the Indiana State Museums, so it transported, like, you know, art and stuff like that around. Lightly used, really. But it is a 2007, and they've had it since brand new. It has a lot of miles on it. It has 257,000 miles on it. But let's start it up. Well, it starts right up. It has a crack in the muffler, if you can hear that. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but the muffler is on the other side, but it has a crack in the seam, and that's why it's a little bit loud. But it starts right up, and it sounds fine. It has a 3.3 liter V6 engine in it. It doesn't even have the little 4-cylinder, so that's a plus. The battery is about a year old, so it's got a pretty fresh battery in it. They do the maintenance on these things. They change the oil, they keep good batteries in them. Probably transmission fluid, I don't know. But everything here is looking good. It's just dirty. It doesn't really look like it's been leaking anything at all. So no ticks, no knocks, none of that stuff. Lots of brake dust though. Like I said, doesn't get washed very often. And if we have a look on the inside, well, not a whole lot going on. It is basic, but if you'll notice, 257,000 miles, but the seats, they're not worn out. They're actually in really good shape. This could have like 30 or 40,000 miles on it from what the seats look like. So yeah, the carpet's in good shape. The pedals are actually in good shape. This does not look like a 250,000 mile vehicle at all. It's dirty, yes, and it hasn't been cleaned on a regular basis, but it looks like, you know, it's been vacuumed out from time to time maybe. and has not had a lot of passengers in it. All these seats are just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I imagine these back seats are probably, you know, so good, they're better than the fronts, that they hauled cargo. These seats are removable. You can take these out, you can take those out. They weren't even locked in when I first got it. So probably hauled a lot of cargo. Probably only had one small museum person in there. This is definitely not a big guy's wear pattern. There's just nothing there. It looks like a 90 pound person drove this around for 257 miles. So nice on the inside. It just needs a bit of cleaning up. Inside, outside, underneath the hood, it's so dirty. But you know, realistically, this is like $1,000 vehicle. $1,200 if we're super lucky. $1,500 during tax season, but it's not tax season and we need to get rid of this. So anywhere between $800 and $1,200, I would be just fine selling this. So let's jump in here and take it for a bit of a test drive and see how she does. I really haven't driven this, so we'll have to see. I often buy things sight unseen, just like I did with this vehicle. I went and looked at it. I guess I did buy it sight seen, but I didn't start it up. I didn't drive it, which you can't drive them at the govdeals.com auction. But a lot of times if you ask them, you can start them up and listen to them. But I did none of that because I'm usually pretty happy with everything I get from the state of Indiana. I don't think I've had a bad one yet. So it's smooth. The front end isn't making a lot of noise, and these roads I'm on, they're really bumpy, and there's a lot of bumps on them. The brakes seem to work pretty good. I'm hitting the brakes now. There's no squealing. There's no pulling. It accelerates pretty good, actually, for a minivan, for an old minivan with 257,000 miles on it. All that works really well. So I think we have a winner. We do have a check engine light on though. That very well could be because of the exhaust leak. Sometimes when you have a hole in the muffler or whatever, it's drawing fresh air back in and slapping up against the old O2 sensor and making the readings off a little bit. But if that's all it is, it's no big deal. But there's no reason it should be anything serious because it's just running too well. Well, we made it back to the house. No problems at all. It runs really good, but it is dirty. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So let's get to doing that. Now, there are some cars that really need a good cleaning to maximize the value that you can get when you resell them. This one probably is going to bring the same amount of money no matter whether you clean it up or not. But it's always a good idea to do the best you can when prepping these cars for sale. So we are definitely going to clean it up. It's not going to make it any more valuable, really. There's going to be a lot of buyers for this car, and they will come out and they'll buy it, whether it's dirty or whether it's not. But it just may go a little faster when it's nice and clean. So let's fire up the old pressure washer, and we haven't done a music montage in a long time. So let's get going. Well, there she is, all blown off and looking pretty clean. It still has some road grime right here. I don't know how worried I am about that. Maybe we'll try a little acetone on it, see if it jumps off. What I am worried about is these bumpers. They are really dull. So a little bit of that black magic will bring those back around. The tires are still wet, so they look shiny, but they're not. So black magic on the tires, the trim, the door handles, and the bumpers should make all of that look good. I went ahead and did the engine too. We just sprayed it out real good, so that looks way better. Somebody's going to be looking at this. They're going to open the hood. and see, you know, hey, it has a nice clean engine, which it was pretty good. You know, it wasn't so bad to begin with. It was just, you know, dusty and dirty. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the old vacuum. I'll vacuum this out and I'll clean these door sills real quick while this dries off. And maybe we'll hit this with a little bit of wax or something, make it look a little bit better. So I'll do that real quick. You don't have to watch that part. We'll come back and see the results. Okay, so the vacuuming is all done. I even hit it a little bit with the buffer. I didn't get really into it, but it's looking a lot better now. You can see that paint is starting to shine up real good. And we also put some of the old Black Magic on the wheel there. Haven't done the trim yet, but I did hit the headlight, this one, with the buffer as well. Using a buffer works on these. It doesn't really get all of it, but it's a lot better. We can spend a lot more time doing these headlights, making them look perfect. But again, I don't think we're going to get any more money out of this vehicle with nice shiny headlights spending an hour on it. This looks 100% better than this does for sure. So time is also money. So you can't spend a whole lot of time, a whole week cleaning a vehicle that's going to get you $1,800, $1,000, $1,500 at the max. So we need to get this in, we need to get this out, because we have a Jeep we need to pay for. Now the interior looks way, way better. The mats are out because I hit those with the old power washer and they're drying over there. But look at this carpet. What's wrong with it? There is nothing wrong with it. Again, 257,000 miles and the carpet looks, I don't know, probably 30 or 40,000. That's about all the carpet looks. I cleaned up this sill plate, and for some reason it just looks so much better when this area is nice and clean, because this is what people see when they jump in the car. So I like that. Is that oh, I thought that was a burn mark. It's a bug. So there's nothing wrong with these seats at all. There's no burn marks, there's no rips. It's not even showing signs of wear. It's almost like new. It's like really close. That is crazy how good the interior is on this. But I am going to hit the interior with a little Black Magic. Probably just the cockpit area here. And finish up these wheels here and do the trim. Let's look real quick and see what that looks like. All right, I have finished cleaning up the van. We got everything waxed down, headlights done, tires done, interior done, Black Magic all over the place. So let's have a look and see how good she's looking. So got the tires looking all nice. That is one of the more important things. I would like to, again, if this was a nicer vehicle, spray painted those hubcaps, taking them off, spray painted the rims back behind there. That would have made it look a lot better, but man, that rust just isn't doing anything for it. But what I like is how well this trim turned out. Remember, it was sort of a almost a silver gray. Now it's way more black, and the bumpers as well, nice and black like they should be. The sun really fades these things out, but a little Black Magic and it all looks good. See, I missed the spot right there. You can see how gray it was. Front bumper's done, and I went ahead and did the other headlight as well, so it's not as cloudy. It's not perfect, but it's not as cloudy. Looks like I missed a spot here too. I'll have to do that. And if I was I didn't get the grill either, but the grill will be nice. I'll do that later, but the rest of it turned out really good. So there's some scratches in the paint, but it buffed out pretty good. Inside, like we said before, the carpet's all nice and good. Take those keys out. The dashboard looking good, nice and shiny. Radio area, everything. We have our good seats. Everything in the back's good. So yeah, I would say that's a good looking car. I don't know if it's going to help sell it. It should help sell it maybe, but we'll find out. Okay, now that we have everything cleaned up, it is time to check on that pesky check engine light and see if that's something or probably absolutely nothing. So I'm going to plug this in real quick and run these codes and see what we have. All right, well, this is weird. It is just dangling right here. Oh, there's a holder that it goes in. Wonder why it's down here. Since it's down here, it's going to make it easier to plug in. So let's go ahead and do that. Where's the ignition key? Here it is. Let's pop in the old ignition key, maybe. Turn it on and see what kind of codes we have. P0038 HO2S. Heater control circuit high, bank 1, sensor 2. What's that mean? Well, looks like O2 sensor. So, what does it say? Diagnostic trouble code P0038 stands for heated oxygen sensor. Means that the conditions of the heater control circuit of the post-catalytic HO2S on bank whatever is outside normal range. So it's 2, that should be the post catalytic converter. So that's the one going out that really doesn't mean a whole lot to us. So there's a possibility that there's a crack in the pipe somewhere and it's not getting the right reading. So I'm going to clear the code and see if it comes back. If it comes back, we're just going to tell the people what it is, and it's no big deal. We're not going to fix that. If this was a better, nicer vehicle, yeah, we would take care of that. But clear the code. Hopefully we get lucky. It doesn't come back. We'll drive it around for a while. If it comes back, we're going to list that in our ad and be open and honest as to what's going on with this vehicle. So no big deal. Okay, we are back at my second storage lot, and where I like to take my pictures that I post on Facebook Marketplace. So I did clear that check engine light and it immediately came right back on. Usually when that happens, I'm thinking the sensor itself is bad. It usually takes a little while for it to trigger again, but I didn't even get to the end of the street before it popped right back on. So we may have a sensor unplugged or a broken wire. Not going to worry about it. If it doesn't sell in like a week, then we'll go after chasing that problem. It shouldn't be, like I said, it's not going to affect the way this is run. It's like number 2 pass on the opposite side of the catalytic converters, I think. I'll have to check into that, but we are going to list it as having that code showing. Now it is time to take pictures, and we are at our happy space and we got our happy little tree, and we're going to take some happy little pictures. I like to take them at low angles like this, or high angles. So we're going to take a couple lows and a couple highs. So let's hit one here, way down low, just like this. So that's one. We'll take another one from this angle, way down low, and maybe a side shot or two, and something nice and high, sort of like this. So we're going to do that on both sides, and then we're going to open up all of the doors and hit some of the interior shots. So nice interior shot right about like that, and here showing off the second row, here showing off the third row. Make sure, I like to come in here and take a nice straight on about like that. And well, let's hit the cargo area as well. Maybe a nice area from right about here should make a good shot. And maybe one more right about here. And then a nice shot of our engine compartment. Nice and clean engine. So there's that too. And of course, you know, one from the front, one from the back. So that should do it on our pictures. Now, I will be taking some close-up pictures of our rusted area because we can only put so many pictures on Facebook Marketplace. I think it's 20, but some people are going to ask about the rust, and we're going to have some pictures to send them. We'll take some close-up shots there and there, so, and on both sides. So that way we can tell the people just what we have. And oh yeah, I'm right about there. So we'll take all those pictures. When they ask about the rust, we will have the pictures to show them what the deal is. The main thing is, don't hide anything. Don't take the pictures to where it looks like it's we're covering things up. We're taking good shots. We're making it look good, but if you notice in the shots, you can also see the rust in there, and we're going to mention that in the ad. Yes, it has rust in these spots. They want to see close-up pictures. We have the close-up pictures to take that. But we're going to be open and honest on this vehicle because we don't want people coming, looking at the car, being disappointed, and not buying it. We want the first person that comes and looks at this vehicle to own the vehicle and get it out of our way. So I am going to tell you what the results were in the next video. So you saw this video. The next video, we will buy another vehicle. I will have it ready, and we will tell you how much we spent on this one and how much the next vehicle costs. So remember, we're trying to pay off our 2021 Jeep Wrangler. Hopefully in less than a year. That would be ideal. If we can make some forward progress on this buying and selling, and when tax time comes around, that is the time to sell. So that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Street Rag Garage. Until next time.